Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for all the witnesses coming out today. And the human rights atrocities and abuse happening in China right now should horrify every one of us. Forced sterilization, labor camps, and murder are happening right now against Uyghur and other Muslim minorities. We have a responsibility to speak out. I am just so honored to be in this commission because we really have to study that, what's really going on in China. Our witness today certainly felt compelled to speak out over the last year in the support of political and social protests. Coca-Cola spoke out loudly against laws passed in Georgia. Visa said change starts here, and highlighted their focus on global acceptance. Airbnb condemned racism, bigotry, and hate. But where are your statements against the human rights abuses happening right now in China? How can we support standing our athletes, the best of the best, who have worked so hard for these moments to a country with a backdrop of abuse and violence? A few months ago, Senator Ted Cruz and I sent the letter out to actually change the location of Beijing Olympic to another safer place for our athletes. But International Olympic Committee sent us a letter that UN's been supporting them, so they're not going to change it. So having said that, means like Beijing is going to be happening. So my question is all of you is this. Will you use your public platforms like social media to raise awareness on the atrocities being performed by the Chinese government to end its abuse and to pressure China to end its human rights violations? This question is for all of you.
Commissioner, I'll go first. The answer to your question is that we have and will continue to speak out on the importance of human rights. And I would just refer back to my opening remarks just an hour or so ago in front of this committee, which specifically referred to some of the matters that you raised in your question.
Congressman, this is Paul Lally with the Coca-Cola Company. We speak out very loudly on respect for human rights through our policy and through our industry-leading due diligence program. We require any business partner we operate with to comply with our policy, or we won't do business with them, period. We do business in 200 plus countries and territories around the world, but we are founded and headquartered in one, and that's the United States, and we're proud to call Georgia our home. So while we are concerned about allegations of human rights abuses anywhere in the world, we will always be most active, engaged in policy issues here at home. And we are proud to be, really have been at the vanguard of the history of fighting for voting rights and equality for the last 50 plus years, dating back to the Voting Rights Act of 1965.
Congresswoman, this is Sean Mulvaney, and on behalf of Procter & Gamble, I want to answer your question and communicate, P&G's respect for human rights is fundamental to our business. Addressing human rights situations whenever they happen around the world is not a nice thing to do, it's a must-do as we navigate our business operations. Respecting human rights is central to our values as a company. And when it comes to communicating support for human rights, our advertising around the world reflects our beliefs in diversity and inclusion. And so you can look at examples and see how we walk the walk in that context, supporting human rights. And so I respect the question, and you asked about sort of how we participate in the U.S. political system. And like Coca-Cola, we're really active in our home market, and we operate in 70 countries around the world and our products are available in 180. And so it's natural for us to be more active in this market, and that's why you see us active in this market.
Thank you, Congressman, for the question. This is David Holyoke with Airbnb. As I mentioned in my opening statements, racism, hate, and discrimination go against everything we believe in as a company. We take the topic of human rights very seriously. It's core to our values and our principles as a company. We are committed to fighting discrimination and making Airbnb a place where everyone belongs and can succeed. All of our users from our host and guest community must agree to our community commitment policies, which requires them to treat everyone in the Airbnb community with respect and without judgment or bias. And we regularly monitor our platform, and where we see discrimination against minorities, we take the appropriate action, including removing those hosts from our platform.
Thank you. This is Andrea Fairchild, and I will just add on behalf of Visa in response to your question that yes, we do our part and we are extremely proud of the work that we do. We recognize that it is our responsibility to respect, advance, and maintain global human rights across our company and our operations. We do perform regular human rights assessments, and Visa has been recognized as one of the most ethical, responsible companies guided by those UN principles.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.